Science Sketches aims to create a path from people's everyday language into the scientific world. And we're trying to get lots of scientists and people excited about science to make this material, to make these videos that explain concepts. So we're both enabling the public to get to science and enabling scientists to communicate to the public. Okay, so when you're ready, if you want to try and make your own science sketch, we go to the Science Sketches website and go to this section called Create and Submit. And there's a worksheet, this PDF you can download. And the first step is to write a script. You come up with your big question, what do you want to explain? The videos have to be less than 2 minutes, that's one of the constraints. And that translates to about 300 words.
So when I storyboard, I'll read the script, and first I'll think of visuals that sort of make sense to go with the script and sketch them out roughly. So that's where storyboarding comes in, where you can flesh out what order you're going to draw stuff so that you don't get disoriented when you're actually doing it. Another thing you want to do is try to have a graphic or a visual representation for each sentence you say in the narrative. So that's also why storyboarding is important, so you can look at each sentence and come up with some kind of visual that makes sense, so you don't have any dead space.
So there are lots of ways that you can set up your camera to film for the sketches, but the main thing is that no matter how you tape it, strap it, or clamp it, you want it to be high enough so that it can see the entire frame of the paper that you're going to be sketching on. And you also want to make sure that it's pretty solid so that any passing vibrations or movements that you make don't affect the image, so it's all wobbly and makes your viewer sick. You also want to make sure that you have adequate lighting. You can use just a simple flashlight on your phone, but you can also go on Amazon or go to a drugstore and find little other lights or find creative ways to make sure that you have pretty consistent and even lighting throughout the entire plane of field. And one tip I recommend is to have a glue down paper or tape that marks the boundaries of where you can write and where you can be seen once you set up your camera. Because oftentimes you'll be focusing so much on the paper that you'll move your hand in the wrong space or write something out of field. And you always want to make sure that the reader can see what you're doing. And then the other thing is that using your hands is a really great way to connect with the reader in the film, because they can see that it's somebody actually making the video that you're looking at. But you don't want to have your hand and arm all over the place so that you're covering up what you actually want them to see. So remember to write and remove to be able to express what you want to show in your film.
So when you want to go and record audio for the sketch that you've made, there's a couple ways that you can go about doing it. If you have just any cell phone, the recording device or voice memo app on that totally works fine. You just hold it next to your mouth like you're talking on the phone. And as long as you can get it right in one take, that totally works. You can take that and run with it. Something that we use is this little audio recording device. It's a little more expensive, but if you can get your hands on one, the audio quality is really nice. And then you can process that audio on a variety of different platforms.
When you have all your footage ready to go, all you have to do is import your images, import your audio, sync it all together, and make sure that they look awesome. I'm using iMovie to make this cool stop motion video, which is freely available on all Macs. There's also free software on Windows, and a really cool app called Stop Motion Studio, which you can download as a free app on your phone.
The cell cycle is divided into 4 phases.
Science is only as useful as people can understand it, so I hopefully am going to be able to take some of these skills and teach them to at least that small portion of people who I know are interested in science communication, and sort of keep on spreading the idea that it's not that difficult to make these little videos, or it's not that difficult to take a minute to explain to people what it is that you do. And seeing results in places around the general public is really what will make people more excited about making these sketches.
Well, our goal is really to get as many people involved in this process as possible. So we intentionally created a really simple format with easy to follow instructions so that anyone can tell a story about science with a video of their own and contribute it to the growing library of videos on our website. you.